Welcome, everybody. You're going to love this episode. Today on the show, I have Shab. Shab is a mother of two, an immigrant from Iran. She's also spent the last few years gaining a huge fan base as a pop star, specifically a pop star with purpose. Shab made the transatlantic trip to America by herself at the age of 14 with only a single small suitcase and an American high school waiting. Shab, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me.
You bet. All right. So first of all, as an immigrant, I'm excited to have you here as well because I have a soft spot for immigrants, obviously, and this idea that you were sent off by yourself at the age of 14. Talk about this. They just basically put you on a plane or said, here's a suitcase, welcome. I mean, you're going to America. Talk about this experience of doing this trip by yourself at 14.
So I was in Turkey, Ankara, for about almost 9 months to a year. And I was waiting basically to see what's going to happen with my paperwork. My mom was there with me. So we waited until my paperwork was ready to go. Then from there, she had to let me go to Germany by myself because my sister was my guardian there. So my sister basically took over and she was the one that, took care of me when I got to Germany. But yes, I did have a small little umbrella and my little tiny suitcase. And I was just happy as being, just because I knew that this is going to be a new life for me and the start of something beautiful. And I was ready for all the challenges and everything that came with it.
All right. So I don't know that much about the Iranian way of life, but Iran is not normally known for its music. So how did this love for music come about?
So so basically when it was during the Iraq and Iran war, I remember I was like 6 or 7. And the way we kind of kept ourselves happy is like in this little bubble, we would listen to Western music and even Persian music, Indian, and everything, right. All international, anything that can make you move. And we would cook dinner, we would clean the house. We were just happy. We didn't have much, but just enough with that love that we had. We were just having so much fun, even though things weren't perfect. And I didn't know if I come home and I would see my family and I would just pray under the table and we would hear the planes going by. It was just a really scary times, but I never gave up hope. I always kept praying and I just kept talking to God and that just kept saving me. And my mom was big in praying and believing in God, and we were just kind of raised that way. And my love for God and my family kept me going in this, and that's how we got through it. We listened to a lot of great music.
Well, and it goes to show you how music is a universal language, right? There are some songs out there that you may not understand the words, but the rhythm of that music makes you move, as you mentioned, and helps you at least escape for that short amount of time. And there's just something special about music. So I just think that's fantastic. Let me ask you this. So from the time, how old were you when you decided, okay, I'm going to start making music my career? I'm going to make a living at music. What time frame was that? How old were you at that point?
Oh, that's actually very recent. I mean, it wasn't until I just had my son and he was 4 months, and I kind of pushed my gifts away because my brother is a really famous singer. His name is Shab, which means shooting star. And he had a lot of success throughout the decade, and he had about 8 albums. And I wanted to do something with him, and he kept saying, this is not the industry for you, go to college. It's just a lot of bad stuff was going around with the industry, and he didn't want me to have anything to do with it. So I got discouraged. But so I kind of put my gift aside and I told God I wasn't ready for it because I didn't have the right stability or things, maybe who knows. But after having my son, I was like, okay, God, I kind of looked up in the sky. I said, if you still want to give me that gift, I'm willing to take what, if you want to give it to me. So that's how it happened. One thing just led to another. And I started working with my brother's producer. I didn't want to tell anybody about this project because sometimes when you tell people, people discourage you. Oh, you're older, or this and that, is your time is different. I'm like, no, you're never old. It's, first of all, age is just a level, and it's how you feel inside, is your energetic being, how you feel. So I was like, I'm just going to do it. So I did this album without telling anybody. And the song came out. They're like, what were you doing? I was like, this was what I was doing. So it's just kind of like, here we go, you know? So
you know, and what you say there, about sometimes your family or your best friends discourage us from going after our dreams or our goals, simply because, you know, sometimes they want the best for us. They don't want us to get hurt. And sometimes I think they do it out of fear because they don't want to be left behind. So I think it's smart that you kept it a secret, because really you don't want to deal with anybody else's interpretation or opinions of what you should do or should not do. And so I think that was a smart thing to do, because many times, again, we share a great idea with somebody and they talk us out of it, and then we regret it later. So I think that was smart on your part. And this producer, well, okay, so I just watched your video, your music video called Spell on Me, which is really well done. It's a great song.
Thank you so much.
And so, but interestingly enough, you mentioned something about, or in the bio that I was reading, I believe it said this is your first English language hit.
Yes.
So okay. So first of all, your English is really good. I would say it's great. So how long did it take you from the time you started singing this out? And I don't know if maybe it's the same amount of time. Did you do a Iranian based or Iranian language album and then do the English album? Talk about that.
Exactly. What I did is with my brother's producer, it was all in Farsi. And I just wanted to do something with my natural born language. And
Right.
There's just so much emotion in that. So after releasing my first single, I mean, I had a lot of followers already. And I just decided, and then I got pregnant with my daughter. And I just said, I'm going to take a break. And between that break, this light bulb hit. And I was like, I want to sing in English. I can sing anything I want. Let's do it. So that idea just kind of clicked in here. So I started researching. Again, I'm, pregnant with my daughter. My son is like 6 months. And I'm just like, under internet researching these things. And so then I came across Damon Sharpe. He's a Grammy-nominated Grammy winner. He worked with Ariana Grande and Jennifer Lopez. And I had no idea at first who he worked with, but I kind of liked his style. I was like, this guy seems like a really nice guy. I feel like he's a family guy, someone I could work with. But then later I found out all these things. I was like, oh my God, I hit a pot of gold. Like I got super lucky, just the right door opened, and I sent him a message, and he messaged me back, and he said, what kind of style do you like? I mean, can you sing? He said, well, I was like, I have never had, an English song, but I know I can. Let's give it a try. And he said, okay. And then he's like, well, your Farsi sounds beautiful. Why don't you, then he sent me a song. A couple months later, I didn't hear back. He said, I have the right song for you, Shab. It's called Down to the Wire. Actually, in my album, Infinite Love, Down to the Wire is the 8th song. It was the first one given to me, but it became like number 8. So then he gave me another song called Ain't Thinking About You, which is an Infinite Love as well. And after that, something clicked. I said, why don't I start writing my own music? Like I have some ideas. I said, Damon, I have an idea. Why don't we do like something Middle Eastern, something with a dance vibe, just bringing 2 worlds, the old world and new world together, and just do something like Spell on Me. So I found some lyric ideas. I sent it to him with some beats I like. And he's like, Shab, I think we're onto something. I really love this. So that's how Spell on Me was born. It was just some ideas. And from then on, we just started writing everything else in the album we wrote together with Eric Sanocola. So 3 of us, we just kind of did this album, and it's magical. So
yeah, no, it is really good. It's well done. And I think that you hit the nail on the head. It does bring both worlds together, right? So it's really well done. And everybody, I'm going to put a link here so you guys can watch the music video. Just click on the link. It'll take you directly to her YouTube video, and you can join there and subscribe and hit the bell. Speaking of hitting the bell, everybody, please spank the like video. Let's get as many shares and likes as we can on this particular show. So please spank that like video, subscribe if you're not a member already. So, okay, so let me ask you this, because I know that getting a producer is a big deal in the music industry. So how difficult was it to get this producer, Damien, to connect with you? Because I'm sure he gets a lot of offers. You know, again, he's worked with, as you mentioned, Ariana Grande and Jennifer Lopez. So I'm sure he's pretty busy. How hard was that to connect with him?
Well, you know, I went through his IG. Mine is at Shab Music Official. There's only one out there. And I sent a message. I didn't hear anything back for like a week or two. I didn't get discouraged. You know, I'm usually like, when I do stuff like that, I'm like, it's sent it in the universe. It's going to come when it's ready. So then he messaged me back. I was like, I knew it. He said, I'm sorry, I'm not on this platform that much, but here's my email. From here on, we could continue speaking on here. So I was like, great. I had his number then. I had his email, which was amazing. And so he said, what kind of vibe do you like? I said, well, I like, you know, I always love Shakira and I love J-Lo's music. And, you know, just kind of like more modern stuff that I kind of related to when I was in high school. He's like, okay, let's see what we can do. So that's how it really happened. And again, I didn't get my first song till 3 months later because, you know, I even forgot about it. I was like, it's going to come. I wasn't in a rush. You know, the universe is just going to put things in your path when your timing is ready. So then he comes up with a song. I have the perfect song for you. Do you like it? So I listened, my partner, Robin, I listened to it. He's like, Shab, this sounds really good. It's a really upbeat. We're actually working on a live show for it and bringing it like to life, this song on stage basically right now. And it's just looking like fire. We're so excited to do this. And that was my first song, and that's how it happened. And I feel like right now he's a lot busier, honestly. Right then, maybe he was just acclimating and trying to do some things. But right now, Damon is super busy. I mean, we're just like, he's working with some other artists, and, you know, I'm one of his top artists as well. So I got him at the right time. I was very blessed that this connection came along. My husband sometimes said, my partner's like, how did you do that, Shab? Like, I'm like, I don't know. Or just, you know, I thank God like every day.
Well, and I think part of that, what you do there, not only putting it out there in the universe to use that, and you're being very spiritual about it, because I think what happens to a lot of people is they get so uptight about meeting that person or reaching that goal. They get so uptight that it almost breaks the spirit, right? That you know,
takes the fun out of it.
It takes the fun out of it, and then there's that inner dialogue. Oh, I'm not going to get it. You know, they get so uptight. It's the best way. They get so stressed out about it. And I think that the lesson here is you just got to put it out there and relax. You know, in the law of attraction, a lot of these guys that talk about the law of attraction, they talk about you got to put it out there and kind of disconnect from it and not stress about it, because that stress, that negative energy will sometimes break the, you know, the magic. Thank you. I love that. So I think there's a lesson there for everybody to take away is you just got to believe in yourself and believe in the timing, believe in the process, right? Because, you know, here you are, you reached out to this person and the timing was right. And as Damon responded back, hey, I'm not on this platform very often. So that itself tells you that the timing was right. He happened to check it, whatever it was, a week or two later, you guys connected, and he obviously saw something in your talent to say, okay, let me see where this is going to go. So I think, again, great lesson. You have to have your goals, put it out there, disconnect, it'll happen.
Absolutely.
You know, there's that reminds me of that saying, that adage of when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so I think that's kind of what happened here, right? All right.
Absolutely right.
So let me ask you this. All right. So here are, you're collaborating and then you did another music video with the Martinez Twins. So talk about these, Martinez, what a great name. I love that. So the Martinez Twins in this music video, talk about how this came about.
So again, going back to Damon had worked with them before. So I actually did an article with Sweety High, which was about the release of Music to My Heart. We were looking for a feature. There were some A-list features that we were thinking of, and we just didn't hit the chord fast enough. And then what happened is they were on another project. So then Damon got back to me. He said, Shab, I'm sorry, but I think we have to release this song by itself. It was ready to go for almost more than 8 months, 7, 8 months. So, and I told him, I said, you know what, Damon, I was just a little saddened about it. And then I was like, okay, but you know what? It's fine. I said, let's do it. I said, I trust your opinion. Let's just go for it. It's not a problem. We'll just do it without a feature. Then I kind of let it, again, just what you just spoke about earlier, releasing that into the universe. And I just said, you know what, God, is in your hands, and you know what's best. I trust you, and I trust the timing. Then the next day he phoned me. He said, Shab, you won't believe this. I let the twins, Yvonne and Emilio, listen to Music to My Heart. They absolutely loved it. They would be honored to be on there with you. And I was just like, I had tears in my eyes. I mean, I was just like super happy because I made this song. I have a lot of Latin friends here, and I love them very much. They've been big supporters, and we have lifted each other up through some dark days. And I wanted to do something to kind of show my love and appreciation to them, and to do a song to kind of say, you know, we go out, we dance, we listen to Latin music, and like, let's do a Latin song. They're like, Shab, do a Latin song. I'm like, all right, okay, I'll do it. So that's how it all became to, you know, was breathing life into that.
Right.
So it was always, and we were always had a feature in mind for Music to My Heart. So when they did their part, I mean, then we did another video shoot so we can add that together with the old one. And it just was magical. I mean, they were just like the right fit. They're super nice. I mean, they have like 40 million across the platforms, but they're not, the fame doesn't get in their head. Like they're so down to earth. They're so lovely and nice and polite. I can't say enough about the boys. I love them dearly. And I always said, you have a big sister now. If you ever need, you know, I'm here for you. I'm going to look out for you too. And they're like, oh, Shab, thank you. They're from Barcelona, Spain. So they're just like, they're sweet boys.
Oh,
Very
that's
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
That's way cool. All right. So there's just so much I want to talk about. All right. So in the music industry, it like a lot of industries, you know, people only see the good stuff. When I see people, you know, I say people, us consumers, we only see the highlights, right? We see these beautiful music videos, or, you know, we hear about these artists, you know, when, again, as you're gaining fame, you know, we're seeing all this other stuff, but the music business is a very cutthroat business.
Yes.
Like a lot of businesses, it is very savage. And one of the things that I'm impressed with our conversation so far is that you have obviously a very what do you call it? Close relationship with God. You talk about God. And so have you gotten any negative feedback with your spirituality and being in the music business?
I'm going to knock on wood here. No, actually not at all. I feel like my fans, the ones that need me, are the ones that are going to follow me, and the ones that don't need to. So I'm going to be there for the ones that love God and have, there's three things: your love for God, your love for your family, and your love for your friends. Right. And that's the way I am. I mean, I'll go above and beyond for the people that are there for me and my fans, and show my appreciation and my love to them. And it's super important to me to be there for them. Like when they send me a note, can you do a shout out for my birthday? I'm your biggest fan. I love you so much. Please, please, please. They're like 15, 16. I'm like, of course, you know, that was just like makes their whole day. And I don't care. It's the 3 minutes of my time. And I don't want ever this fame thing or anything like that get to my head. I want to stay humble and kind. I want to always be the same person, just get better, but not let this things change me. And that was one of my worries before kind of coming into the fame and stardom. You know, I was kind of afraid of that and not having that stability, but I'm in a really good place. And I have my friends. I said, if I go out of line, just smack me. Okay. I was
you know
just
what?
like, if I go out of my way to smack me around and be like, Shab, wake up, you know, I'm like, all right, sorry.
Well, you know what, and that is so important. I think back and I look at my biggest mistakes were all egocentric, you know, just when you think, when you start believing your own press, right? Or you start getting
And
full of
bullshit,
yourself.
like,
Yeah, you know, it's all that BS, and you start, oh yeah, I'm so good. No, you're not. You know.
oh
and
man, ain't
and I
that the
think,
truth?
yeah, and I think there's a, what do you call it? There is a spiritual truth to, you know, there's that again, it's a verse or an adage that pride comes before the fall. So yeah, you know, it's important to stay connected and grounded,
Yes,
and remember the important things, which is your family, your friends, you know, and things of that nature, because everything we do, um, at least in my opinion, the reason to do all this stuff and to get to the next level is to have impact on people, and not only deliver value to our consumers, our fans, our audience, but
it's
also,
adding value and delivering value.
yes,
Absolutely agree with you. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. You know, and you look at some of these stars, it doesn't matter whether it's business or TV, or I should say movies or music. No, doesn't matter what field they're in.
Yeah.
These really big stars, sooner or later, start giving back to the community. They'll have a nonprofit. They're getting involved in education, or they're getting involved in health. And I know several, you know, quote, big stars that are building schools and hospitals in these third world countries. And I think that ultimately,
Yeah.
you know, ultimately that's one of our responsibilities, is to give back, right? To
I agree.
help our communities. All right, so let me ask you this. If you were going to give advice to, let's say, a 14-year-old, a, you know, 24-year-old, whatever, if you're going to give advice to somebody who is passionate about music, they want to follow your path, what advice would you give them?
Stay grounded and believe in yourself, and you're more beautiful than you think you are. um, the most important thing for me is having faith and believing in God, and knowing that be patient, you know, do your work hard, um, practice, rehearse. Those are your time. When you have downtime and something is just stuck, don't think of it like, oh, I lost this opportunity. Think of it like, no, I'm going to go into the studio and I'm going to even work harder on my vocals, on my rehearsing, you know, doing the bringing, you know, for live shows or something like that. To me, patience is really the key. And you yourself have to believe in yourself. And like I said, when I did this journey, um, I surround yourself with people that believe in you, because I had other friends that just kept pushing me, Shab, you have to do the singing thing. And I was like, I don't know, how am I going to do it? Like in my mind, I didn't know how, but they believed in me. There was a group of small friends that I've had that, you know, they're still with me, and they kept pushing me. They were like, you are star quality. There's something special about you. You have to do this. You owe that to yourself, you know, even though my dream has always been singing and entertaining and using that platform for something bigger than myself. My passion has always been healing and helping people. I've done the spa world for many years, for more than a decade, and that's one of my other dreams. I would love to open healing centers, you know, and the first one of its kind probably going to be here in Dallas. But I just love, it isn't giving, we receive. And we heal someone, when we help someone, I feel like God is feeling his light in me, and I could just keep receiving that, and so I can give more of that. So I just love that. I love helping people. I love positivity. I just breathe that in. I'm addicted to being positive, you know. And every day, even if something is going wrong, I just change my mind. I'm like, nope, I focus on something happy, or I just put a happy song on. And maybe I'm like tricking my own mind. And it's okay to, like, you know, use your own psychology for
Yeah.
like good, you know, you're brainwashing yourself, but that's okay.
Yes. It is. You know what? I totally agree with you, because most of the time we brainwash ourselves with negativity. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I don't deserve this, whatever, whatever, whatever. It might as well go the other way. And again, when you look at some of these high achievers, and it doesn't matter whether it's music or fitness or movies or business, they brainwash themselves with positivity. They brainwash themselves with encouragement, saying, I can do it. If, you know, okay, so let me ask you this. Fear. How do you overcome fear? You know, because sooner or later, no matter what, you know, it's always going to the next level. So you might be comfortable, I don't know, singing in a room of 5,000 people. Would you feel just as comfortable, you know, with 50,000 people or whatever? So when you're trying something new is what I'm trying to get at. When you're trying something new and there's a little bit of fear, how do you deal with that?
I use my breath, because my breath is my power. So I breathe, just close my eyes. I just keep a couple deep breaths, and I don't doubt myself when I am. Chance favors a prepared mind, right? So when I know I'm prepared, when I know I've practiced and rehearsed tirelessly, I have no doubt fear, I'll eat fear for breakfast. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I'm well practiced. I mean, I've rehearsed all of that. And I just, if I for a second feel like overwhelmed and I see people, I'm like, whoa, wow, there's all these people. I'm like, nope, just don't get too excited. Get that little excitement is good for, you know, the soul,
Right.
but just breathe, take a deep breath, 3 deep breaths, and just like let your breath be your power, right? And then you're good.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right. So what's next for Shab and your crew? What's coming up next? Where can people find out more about you?
Well, Shab Music Official is my website, and then as well as for Facebook and IG. And right now we have we are being considered for the nomination for Grammy, so that's being super exciting for me.
Yes.
I'm feeling totally honored, and it's like a dream come true. I mean, I cried. We are on our second album already. We have about 8 amazing, beautiful songs, and I do have a second song, To Spell on Me, continued.
Oh, cool.
So yes, it's really, really gorgeous. I mean, it's just such the lyrics and the movement, and it's just going to be absolutely stunning. So we have 8 beautiful songs in the second album. We're probably going to end up doing like 13 songs for the second album, because the first one I had 8, and that's why I called it Infinite Love, because it's like I kind of played on the 8 infinity, you know. Yeah, so yeah, we're pretty much ready for that, and I'm so thankful to my team. I have such an amazing team. I just love and adore them. They know I'm always like, I love you, and there's so much like love going on there. I'm like, I'm so appreciative and grateful to them, because they really are running my life when it comes to that, because I have 2 children, so it's really hard to keep up with, hey, what does this fan say? Make sure we contact them, make sure we know what's going on, and I want to be on top of that, because my fans are my world, and just like my family or my friends, people I love, they are my second other family, and I care about them and I love them deeply. So, but yeah, we're super excited to get this thing off the ground, and hopefully we'll have another single coming up by fall, end of fall, something like that. So we'll see how you know, the rest of the stuff goes. And this closing the summer with a big bang, and you know, keep going.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I will put a link to Shab Music Official.
Yes, Shab Music Official for IG.
For
and
IG,
as soon as they put
and the
Shab Music,
website.
it'll pop up. Yeah,
Okay.
and then same thing with Facebook.
Great. So I'll also put this in the show notes, and people can link immediately to it.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. It's been so much fun having you on the show. I look forward to keeping what do you call it, an eye on you, and again, listening to some of your music, because it is very, very good. A lot of positive energy. The music video, again, I'll link to that as well. Great job on the music video. I also watched the one that you did with Ivan and Emilio Martinez. Again, outstanding. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I look forward to having you back again.
Thank you. It was a truly an honor to be interviewed by you. And thank you so much for your time. You're amazing. I really enjoyed our time. Have a
Thank you
beautiful
so
day.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.